So that for everybody who wonders, this could have been even worse.
Yeah.
It was not. Visa officers have been very kind with like the third appointment of some people, which is amazing to hear because visas are killing esports, man. Visas are killing esports.
Yep. Not being able to compete in the highest occasions. Well, let's be to be more specific. Visas, especially to North America, game is super hard. But this is the Chinese qualifiers, and unfortunately, the tournament that we're going to be taking part of with ESL One Malaysia is in Malaysia, very far away from the United States. So visa entry should not be an issue for any of the teams that
Much
manage to
easier.
get there. Yeah, much easier to get into. So looking at these drafts though, because we do have to send at least one team there. There's 3 teams left: LBZS, Team Wolf, and Team Asta that are sitting in the grand finals. Excuse me. So LBZS and Wolf, they need to get past each other. What do you make of the drafts between them here? So Radiant side, you know, Visage, Venge, TA. In particular, I'm very curious to see how they're going to be playing this Visage, right? We saw yesterday just how good it can be when you do make the decision to play the Visage in a core role. It is starting as a core here for LG, so this gives them push. They have Kagome for push as well on his TA, and they have this Tiny for being able to open up a lot of these fights. I really like this LBZS draft, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I'm as like with all the pieces that they have, like the different types of damage, the different types of force displacement. They have possibly 2 saves and our toss-ins with both the Venge as well as the Tiny. So they have a bunch of reach. You have some mobility on this Quap, and then physical burst and magical burst. Like it all looks really good. I just like I'm having some trouble trusting in the Quap hero still. I feel like for what she does, the amount of damage that she delivers is lower than a Zeus, and then she's also more at risk than a Zeus.
Yeah, she's a very temperamental
But
hero
you know,
in that way.
Zeus is kind of made out of shenanigans right now, so
Yes.
you
It's
know
like,
maybe that's an unfair comparison.
Zeus is doing too well, so Blessing has the easier road to success here. I mean, especially given they have quite a lot to help Blessing out in this game. We've seen this Doom yet again for the side of Wolf. It was yesterday that Molasses decided to play this 4 Doom that became a core, and we see yet again this Winter Wyvern from TZ. So there's 2 spells that can, at the very least, hold heroes in position for a little bit while he pumps in the damage. Hard to run past Wukongs and Lifestealer. So Blessing's gonna have a good game, and that is definitely for sure. The one hero I am worried about, and as I'm always worried about in these games, is Lifestealer. Tell me good news. I am always, you know, I'm a hater of this hero right now, and in this game, it doesn't look super great either, right? How bad is the Lifestealers matchups here, or is it one of these situations where, given the right conditions, they can still carry the game?
Oh man, I'm feeling like you're asking me how bad is it, Doc? Because like the patient is bleeding out. No, it's pretty bad. Your item timings hit less hard than a TA's. She counters you straight up in the hero match to match. So, and you're not one of those heroes that, alright, fine, I can't kill her, I'll just kill her team. Because you are not that high of a DPS hero. You are fairly slow but consistent damage, and you know, you're going to get outbursted by the LBZS lineup for sure. And even if you get big, they can do the thing where they run around you and kite you while they kill off your team. So I have a lot of worries about building this draft around this Lifestealer hero as well.
Reservations to be sure, but you know, yesterday Vegetable Dog showed us up. There were situations where we thought that they should definitely not even be here, but Wolf came up wonderfully on the back of his carry performances yesterday. So if he says he wants Lifestealer, gonna show us exactly what he's capable of on this hero. I must say, one of the things I've been loving about China lately is the emergence and the rise of some of these practically unknown players and teams coming out of nowhere to dominate regions. CDEC dominated Division 2, and they literally had one player that we'd all heard about before, but everyone else was brand new to the scene. And Wolf have also a lot of new blood. Only really Molasses is a known entity here. But they've been impressive so far. Much more impressive than I think their billing would initially suggest when you just look at the team roster.
Monkey King immediately gets deleted out of the jungle. you get to trade for his Avenger, right? But as long as the TA is sitting there as well, that was a risk there a little bit. So this bottom lane, they have the Doom down here. Should be doing decently fine up versus the TA, though the level 1 meld, yeah, there we go, is always going to be an issue, especially with your low armor. But you've got the HP to trade.
They got this HP, they've got the Scorch, should be able to be okay on Molasses. There's no real cause in this situation like what we saw that other game for them to switch over to the Monkey King core, because 4 Monkey King, perfectly fine. Gives them information and scouting in this game. You always need some kind of scouting in a game against TA, Queen of Pain, these sorts of heroes. They don't have that many natural forms of lockdown up until they get Blink Dagger, so need to have a good game. So far, so good. Doesn't feel like there's going to be that many kills down in this bottom lane unless it's detachment that steps a little bit too far out of position.
Level 3, of course, we're going to get to the level 2 minus armor from the Venge most likely, or the 111, like, she peaks very nicely with both. So,
Top lane?
here we have the one.
Oh, almost died. 20 HP on the Visage. We're really thinking he'd be taken out there, but did manage to survive things. Coming back a little bit too close. So Vegetable Dog trying to run him down here. TZ also closing the gap. This should be the first blood here. Why did this Visage come back? That was so greedy.
Real, I don't know what his regen situation was like, but maybe he was like, I can't actually get back in here. So maybe I should just die, though you'd pick a neutral camp, right?
Yeah, I'd rather tank the extended, especially if it's going to be first blood. If there was already a kill out in the lane, maybe, but for first blood, that was a bit much, but given what I'm looking at here, only has one tango left, definitely does seem to be the case that it was all about regen. Still, very much a boon here for the side of Vegetable Dog. He'll be very happy with getting this opening kill. He has queued up an Orb of Corrosion. I haven't seen this item as much on Lifestealers lately. When I do see this negative armor bolt, it's like Armlet into Deso. But Orb of Corrosion seems somewhat atypical as bottom. Detachment and Kagome able to bring down this Monkey King. But yeah, what do you think about the item queue on this Lifestealer right now?
Item that's meant to keep him in the lane here. Since you have a very long lane and Lifestealer is going to, in general, be chasing a lot. Like, you're getting a lot out of the slow, you're getting a lot out of the minus armor, some of the HP. So this is just for him to be able to actually fight in this lane, and he wants to fight here. I do think he's correct in that assumption, because if you just farm here, the Visage is 100% going to end up getting 6, taking your tower, and you're going to get booted out. You're going to get way more out of grabbing the kills there and keeping us down for as long as possible.
Mid lane, we do have an interesting kill happening with the Queen of Pain being able to bring down the Zeus. Shadow Strike seems to have ticked him out as he was getting closer to the tier 2 tower. We don't see these 1v1 kills as much nowadays, so this is a pretty big deal. Zeus will come back a full level behind PP, and it seemed like he didn't have TP. I think he TP'd back to safety, thinking he would survive the damage, but he didn't. That's kind of a huge deal. That's why he has to pop the smoke to come out. To be fair, nobody on his team wants to be smoking at all, but nonetheless, it's a resource that might not be available deeper down the line now.
Yep, and this is one of the few points where I'm going to disagree with what you said in the draft, because I don't think that this Zeus is up for a good game at all. Again, this is a good illustration of the start, but this Quap is going to be jumping him, this Tiny is going to be angling for him, and I think LBZS will be happy to, you know, they're going to lose heroes if they go for the Zeus, but I think they are perfectly fine with this, and man, Blessing.
Game is hard.
Is the opposite of a blessing.
Yeah, yep. Early movement coming in from this Tiny. Shows up. He knows that at this stage, Visage is perfectly fine. Being able to just sit back behind the tower up in the top lane. So he has the latitude to move middle. They force the kill to happen. Very, very big deal. PP not only ecstatic at the fact that the kill has happened, but now also has access to level 6. So the possibility of being able to kill this hero again is present. So Blessing needs to watch these side lanes. The moment that there's a missing hero of a support, he needs to feel like his life is probably under threat. Speaking of lives under threat, bottom lane, one is going to be happening onto this Monkey King. Try to dodge the magic missile with the mischief. Won't be allowed to do so, but Boundless Strike will open up the space for him to escape. Okay, he's fine. He's cute. No problem.
And then Vegetable Dog. His support was pulling and he gets punished.
We've all had those deaths when you're playing safe lane. It is what it is. It's very unfortunate though. Who got the last hit? Was it LG? Oof, yeah, that is also a big deal. That's going to finish off the boot here for the Visage, giving him some uninterrupted time in the lane so he can get closer towards level 6. As bottom, they do kill Detachment, and they're looking for Kagome here. They should be able to bring down the Templar Assassin as well. TA trying to survive with the Mel Strike. They don't have any reveal. Oh my goodness, 48 HP, and that was also just the second when the Scorched Earth ends and it no longer ticks out the damage. Very unfortunate set of circumstances, but Wolf will not find the kill onto the TA.
And the only reason that Kagome walks forward there is just to taunt. He knows he's safe now. Yeah. Nothing for you, Molasses. But to be fair, Kagome will have some trouble getting close to the wave right now, but he is more than happy right now. And this wave with the catapult is going to come and push into him, so he is good cheap. Mid, they're going on the Zeus.
But again, this time they have the DD and the aforementioned Sonic Wave. Don't even need it. Okay. Wow. This early game is just horrendous for the Zeus. Just getting absolutely nothing accomplished because he just keeps dying. Yes, he's getting some decent CS out of this lane, but that's the third death of this hero. And now Queen of Pain is going to rotate to the top lane as LG is going to die, but Prop might find revenge. TZ will get inside this cold embrace. PP looking for the angle. Two heroes could get waved here, and indeed, that's exactly what's going to happen. Winter Wyvern is gone, so is the Life Stealer. PP with the double damage rune, showing up huge on the side lanes. One of the big things about those Queen of Pain is her ability to make these big rotations at level 7, and she does it magnificently into the top lane after killing Zeus middle anyway.
Yeah, and you know what I said about not having faith in the co-op? Never mind, if you're going to be playing like this, then you're good. You're good. He's going to be maxing the Scream now, so his farming is going to be up to speed with his Zeus as well. Normally don't really like the Dagger max, but actually yes, in this matchup that's worked out great for him, and I should have seen that coming. And now she's in a position to actually stay on top of the farming boards all game, which is exactly where you want to be as a co-op. And we're going to see... Is this Orchid build this game? I would like to see it probably, but I think recently we've been seeing more SNK, and that would do great in this game as well. Like either is fantastic. Oh, there's that Doom drop.
First Doom of the game. Is it going to result in a kill? I do not know, because LBZS... Did you see that move? They were so disciplined. They were waiting with their supports, knowing that something like this might happen as soon as the Doom did crack level 6. And if you come in from the wings, oh, they drop in a Thunder God's Wrath, but it's not going to be enough damage to kill anybody but Kagome, because he couldn't get off the refraction. And they also allow themselves to lead into the damage top, bring down the Visage. Okay, all right. I thought they were going to lose Kagome anyway, just ticking out from Doom, but being able to get the kill onto the Visage too, that makes it a much nicer turnaround. And because they know the two supports were bottom, they're unavailable to try and assist the Visage up top.
Oh yeah, Blessing really needed some luck in this game, so that's very good for him as well. Gold of 2 kills going his way. Not gonna lie, I wonder if we're going to see a Yules this game. I've seen a couple of versus a Kunkka, I've seen a Yules now from a Zeus, and versus a Quap. I mean, it's hard, right? Because in this game it's very hard to buy anything that doesn't feel like you're setting up on yourself. And I'm still of the opinion that Zeus's buy less BKBs than they should and later than they should. But on the other hand, like, where do you fit it into your build? You really don't wanna. It's just a Kaya.
Yeah, Kaya will have to do. It's like, I'll take it. BKB will come later. I once saw Somnus go first item BKB on the Zeus, and I was like, okay, that's how you know it's a rough Zeus game when even Somnus is feeding the need for that item. But
But on the other hand, he's also buying it because he's Somnus and he doesn't feel too good for it. He's not like, oh, I'm a Zeus, I can't buy BKB. It's just like, okay, do I need a BKB to be able to play this game? Yes? Okay, then I buy it.
Yep. Somnus will always buy what he feels is necessary. Down bottom. Good kill onto this Monkey King. Visage is now level 6, so let the shenanigans ensue. And she's going to take over this bottom side of the map, as we do want this Templar Assassin to dip into the jungle. Of course, that does leave space up on top for them to try and push out this wave. And Vegetable Dog and TZ will do so very happily. Who's going to come to defend this is the question. And it looks like they're going to send Kagome to the side of the map. I mean, it's at this point very risk-free for this TA to be able to clear out these waves, unless they make a big rotation towards her, and they do it almost immediately, bringing in the Monkey King top.
Good read from Wolf here, knowing that ideally LBZS still, even if they're a little bit late on this, right? Normally you see both waves pushed up to the tower, and then the enemy carry will go with the team to push the safe lane. Instead,
Go for
they
the
read
jump
it.
now, but they read the play from PP, throwing in a Sonic Wave. He was ready to try and defend against this. Kagome still alive. Salad buying space with the Avalanche. They haven't killed the TA. Kagome still alive. Gets out the right clicks. They turn around onto both of these supports. TZ is gone. So is the Monkey King. Vegetable Dog might not be allowed to escape either. Slowed down by the Shadow Strike. Rage in 1 second, but it might not matter. He's too low in the HP. Will attempt to try and fight back though as Blessing comes in to assist. Won't be able to save the life of the Lifestealer though, and doesn't have Thunder God's Wrath for another 100 seconds, so they will not be able to pump in the damage to threaten PP. And 3 heroes end up falling. The gank squad into this TA turns into a suicide squad instead.
Yeah, that was a little too bold with the Quap just waiting in the wings, but it's really the Tiny though. Like the AoE on, and we keep getting surprised by the amount of utility that you get out of Avalanche these days, the duration of the stun, the width of the AoE. But yeah, this is why you keep on saying Tiny is OP, and I agree with you. Who else could have stopped that? He would have needed something like a Winter's Curse, which incidentally.
But they have the swap though. Detachment there to save from the curse. Kagome getting caught up yet again with inside the damage of Vegetable Dog, but will still get the kill onto TZ first. Vegetable Dog, will he get out of this is the question, because Salad, I don't think they had enough damage without the TA though to threaten the life of the Lifestealer. So he'll be allowed to just claim the 1 kill. It was an expensive one though, but you know, Winter's Curse is meant for situations like that to kill TA. And yet again, I mean, last time around it didn't work out to try and force her off this wave, but this time they finally make it happen up in top lane.
And that means that the map advantage now goes to Wolf, with them still having decent pressure up on the bottom side. The Visage is in a camp right now instead of pressuring the bot tower.
Just chilling, doing his thing.
Yeah, chilling, but they're bringing more people down here again. The Visage is supposed to be taking this tower, like this is level 8 now. We're supposed to be seeing a Visage on the tower at level 6, right?
Yeah. It's actually weird, right? That no tower had been taken anywhere on the map in the first 13 minutes. Somewhat of a large contrast to what we've been seeing from some of these Team Asta games, where as soon as humanly possible, they'll aggress and try and take some real estate off the map. But so far, both of these teams, maybe they're feeling the pressure. This is the last day of a game where any kind of mistake that you make, you have no more second opportunities, no more chances to try and come back, no recovery. You mess up now, that's it. You're done and dusted. Another team gets to go to Malaysia. You get to stay at home and practice for the TI qualifiers. Wolf now, they're going to try and make something happen by smoking up. They do not have any items that create reach and space outside of this Monkey King jumping in with the tree dance, but they really want to use the Doom up into his top lane. They're baiting and dangling Vegetable Dog on this Lifestealer, but they're looking like they might have read this move. They're swapping the heroes that they have top. Yep, they see it. Detachment goes to check the smoke. Will break with his face. Very happy to die on this one. Good stuff from LBZS, understanding where the danger was on this map.
And now Vegetable Dog is kind of in an awkward position because he's missing out on last hits, but
They might be missing out on a life on this Monkey King. Force him to use the Wukongs. There's going to come an ultimate. Elsewhere on the map though, there's actually Zeus getting jumped on. PP solo kills the Zeus. Barely survives this. Now they know that they have this numerical advantage. Maybe they want to get out, but Wolf will infest back into the Monkey King. They still want to be able to defend this tower against the push of this Visage. Who are they going to jump on first? Detachment is the one that's open, but they get another avalanche toss, but this time there is no Wukongs, so no protection for the Monkey King. Even through the infest, not enough heal to keep him alive. Detachment though might die for this, chased down by Vegetable Dog, and there's Winter's Curse with the Visage Familiars onto Salad. The damage is being dealt, but can they finish him off is the question. And the answer is no, because Avalanche is a broken spell, and Salad will be able to save his own life off the back of this. Vegetable Dog though is still chasing a little bit, but I think he's just doing it out of frustration more than anything else.
yeah, and I do also think that he misplayed that, like he forgot for a second that he can't actually attack any of the other heroes other than the Visage. during the Winter's Curse, who was hitting in. He got 2 hits into Salad before he realized, oh, maybe I should be putting the into LG, before he was like, oh, maybe I should be putting the minus armor into Salad. And I think LG might have actually killed him. It would have been close.
Speaking of close, right now we're going to see this fight down bottom that is fairly close. Monkey King is going to be the first one to die though. Molasses, will he be allowed to get away? Guess what? Nope. The Salad's here. And that's going to be a dead Doom. PP, the one that got doomed, instead is going to be the one that comes in for the kill. You know, normally I would say that that would be kill stealing from Salad, but you earned that one, buddy. You've worked really hard today. Take it. 2-0 and 11, 15 minutes in on a Tiny. What?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
11 assists, and he's going to have a Blink Dagger very soon, and they never had to give him a lane. Which is, by the way, very handy for him in general, because normally you give him the lane where the tower has already fallen to finish up that Blink Dagger. Still no towers down. Except, oh, no, wait, actually mid tower's down, because we didn't look at that. The Quap just sorta ran over it.
This PP Queen of Pain has just been on point today. Sanj and Kaya already finished up, so a lot more difficult to kill in general. In large measure, why the Doom was so survivable. And the next time around with this Lincoln Sphere, the 2 big spells they have against the Quap, the Curse and the Doom, suddenly are not going to be that effective against her. I think it's looking super hard for PP. And it's like you were saying earlier, if she can pull out these kind of performances and play exactly like this, then you're allowed to pick Queen of Pain every other game. It's fine.
Not just fine, I even love it. Like,
LG. Oh, wow.
Magic Burst is wonderful.
That's a lot of damage that came out in a short span, but Salad is here to try and make sure that they get some revenge. Winter's Curse will get dropped, but only Salad held in position. Detachment will come in with the Magic Missile. TZ is buying quite a lot of space and time here. Blessing will throw in the Young Ultimate. We'll be able to kill Detachment off the back of this, but that's all they're going to get. 2-for-1 trade up in the top lane. They did try quite a lot, but TZ actually was tankier than they expected. I think they expected the Winter Wyvern to die a lot sooner, but the combination of these raindrops and this young Fluffy Hat made the slight difference to keep extending that fight.
Exactly. Buy Fluffy Hats. Sports, do it. I
cold
care.
out
Start
there,
a hat collection. Double Blink up on LBZS right now, though. So the Tiny's gonna have one, and this TA who got herself a fresh Deathwind Aegis also immediately into the Blink. This is going to be a rough patch for Wolf, because they don't actually have the Halberd finished over on their Lifestealer just yet, so this TA can freely jump into whatever.
Once they do finish the Halberd, it does become easier to fight, but still some gold away from that. And with the TA having Aegis, they're not going to wait. LBZS smoke up immediately. When they're trying to aggress into the triangle, will they find their Salad? He's the one that goes first. Vegetable Dog leaves just in time. So good read on the game, but Zeus might not be as lucky. Blessing, unfortunately fam, today has just been a curse. Gets jumped on yet again, surrounded, brought down. Time will be bought by TZ. A Winter's Curse will also be there for some space, but there's no way out of this one. Blessing, LG will be able to claim that kill. This has just been pain and suffering, and the Zeus's game is about to get worse. LG is going to finish this Wraith Pack quite soon. And then the one saving grace of the Zeus, the fact that you can still outlay all this massive damage, even that's going to get taken away from him.
Yeah, well, at least the Aegis is down. Okay, thanks for dying there. They do pay here with that Aegis for the TA. On the other hand, the Winter's Curse is down now. I do think that if LBZS wanna pump some gas into this vehicle here, that they should go do that right now.
They have several heroes positioned in this mid lane with the wave coming in for the tier 2 tower. So might as well keep this pressure up. Like you say, there is no big counter spell, and there is no Doom as well, because they utilize both of them to get the kill out on this top lane. Speaking of TZ, is in a situation where he's just going to get right-clicked down. Molasses also in a little bit of danger here if he keeps going forward, but he wisely turns around. Nope, Salad finds him and jumps him, throws him to the back lines. BKB, no, you're not safe here, my friend. That's what we're worried about. Molasses will end up dying. You need to keep your distance against this Detachment and Salad combination you were talking about at the beginning of the game. Forced displacement. Really difficult to deal with in general, and LBZS making massive use of it to put these Wolf heroes in jeopardy every single time.
And I do think that Wolf, like, we saw them yesterday beat out Aster Ares with a team that was very hard to engage into. They'd clearly thought about that. They were aiming to play like that. But today, it doesn't quite look like they have that lineup fully at the ready. And the other thing that happens is that, of course, LBZS was watching you and they say, fine, you're hard to engage into. Sure, we'll just pluck your heroes out. And now you're actually low on engagement tools as well. They're not as helpless against it as, say, like the first draft of game 1 yesterday, where you have like literal Phoenix and Winter Wyvern as like your big reaction spells. But it's still pretty bad. Like, what are you gonna do if somebody gets tossed out? You only have Winter's Curse. You might not
Winter's
even have
Curse
that.
might not even have that because it's about to die. Monkey King gets caught. I love how Salad didn't even see the Monkey King, but he still got a 2-hero avalanche regardless. TZ goes into the cold embrace. Will get able to throw the Doom out onto this Queen of Pain. Nimbus Cloud misses though because of detachment, swapping out the crop. Salad trying to buy space will open up an opportunity with the avalanche. They really want this kill and they eventually will find it. The question is how much more can they claim here? LG also starting to fall a little bit low, but he really wants Blessing. Has these birds out on top of him. They're throwing out the damage, but LG realizes that his danger and his life is gonna come first, so he dies. 3 heroes brought down here. Okay. Nice signs of life coming in from Wolf. They hit the counter initiation. They see that the Queen of Pain is slightly overextended. They know that she's already dropped Sonic Wave. Might have already lost some supports, but who cares? We're going to get the Queen of Pain as well as the Visage in return.
Yeah. Very confused why Kagome wasn't there. Like, I get that you're like, well, might as well finish off my BKB, right? But like the 2 spells that you're most afraid of are BKB piercing.
Yep.
And you already bought this Blink Dagger. Like, I think that's a little on the conservative side. If you bring the TA into that fight, that one was pretty close. Maybe Kagome a little bit underestimating the importance of his own impact there. Thinks that his team is far ahead enough. And as a result, Wolf gets some space to breathe. That's going to be Blink over on this Winter Wyvern. We're going to definitely have the Halberd finished up for the Lifestealer now as well. Yeah. Already a Hyperstone into the AC. Excellent. Armor up versus the TA. He's doing everything he can for this matchup, which is, well, still not going to be easy, but it's going to do a lot for him. And his farm is looking really good, actually. He's overtaken the Quap now.
Yep. He's very high up in the net worth. He's going to continue scaling in this way, provided that some of these fights also go well for them. Even Molasses, they're building heavily into this armor in general. Going for the Shivas and making sure that we don't have that awkward situation that he had yesterday, where by the time he buys Refresher, he doesn't have enough mana for the double Doom. So today he's like, you know what, let's start with the Shivas, get that item out of the way. And this way, it also means that they're going to be helping to deal with the Visage and the TA even more with all of this beefy armor. Molasses won't be burstable at all, and his BKB, unlike with the BKBs on the side of LBZS, Molasses' BKB protects him quite a bit. Detachment, he's going to get found out by Molasses, and he's going to contribute his life towards the Shiva's God Fund. How kind of him. Or maybe not, he swaps in Kagome. Unfortunately though, Lincoln Sphere cannot protect you from the heavens, and the Thunder God's Wrath will get a kill. Salad though, jumping in, finding Vegetable Dog with the Avalanche, but they don't have enough damage just yet, even with the Sonic Wave. Kagome trying to throw in the right clicks, but Monkey King comes and drops the Wukongs to buy some space and time. Winter's Curse will do the same, as Molasses has dropped the Doom on the far edge of the fight. Kagome is then having to play a little bit safer and extend the ranges, and Blessing, they haven't been able to find him. He's finally been allowed to just sit back, throwing in the damage. Detachment will end up getting brought down, and now they find a big Boundless Strike onto this tiny, and Salad will end up dying. Only Molasses will lose his life, but he did his job, committed the BKB, the Doom, wastes a lot of space and time, but more importantly, keeps the heroes from being able to get to Blessing, and that enables them to win out that fight.
Yep, the fact that the Zeus doesn't die there, as well as they don't get to kill the Winter Wyvern at all, super important. Yeah, look at that damage dealt. That's the Zeus contribution we know and love. And yeah, if you have a long fight, if you have that sustain, if you're piling all of that armor on your team, then at some point TA is going to have to fight long fights versus the Lifestealer. And that's what we were talking about when we said that the matchup was normally not that great for a Lifestealer. He needs time to munch on everybody. He got time to munch on everybody. This team's really hard to kill right now, especially with the BKB on the Monkey King as well. Pop didn't really have a way to overcome that threshold of damage to bring anybody down immediately.
She certainly did not. They'll take out some of their frustrations on the Monkey King now. They're like, where's your BKB now, my friend? What is not going to help you? Just die in front of us. So they get him to kill out onto him randomly on the map. But at this stage of the game, you're just happy that you have space for Vegetable Dog to keep farming. He's got a full AC now. So the next fight is going to be even more difficult for the side of LBZS. Seeming that they are running a little bit low on the damage front, especially since PP. One of the things about this Queen of Pain relative to Zeus is that her damage is often either one and done, or you have to commit your own life to get the damage out reliably. Zeus can just sit back, chill. Provided you're not looking at Zeus and you're not in front of his face, he's always useful and reliable inside the fight. So PP has to really think about which is the opportunity to actually go in. Otherwise, you just end up feeding away your life. But we're going to see now what happens in terms of going in, because they smoke up as 4. Are they trying to sneak a Roche here? I think they are.
Yeah, they can. They have a lot of damage available to them here, a lot of minus armor. Got the Vlads as well. I mean, the Wraith Pack has been up for a while. We haven't seen it being massively impactful yet, though, because Wolf is not reliant on burst or AoE damage much at all. It's all targeted nukes, it's all right clicks.
It's only really the Zeus that's applying that AoE damage, and you have to actually have it in an effective position. So he's been doing well. Everyone's just doing okay. With this Aegis in tow now, obviously LBZS, they would like to make something happen on the map, but I'm not actually sure that this is an Aegis that's going to allow them to do anything more than push tier 2s. They're going to try and force this issue though. Moving in through this mid lane. Blessing, I'm not sure if he's been scouted yet, but he's nearby Salad. Don't show Blessing. Just go home. Just go home. Okay.
Go home, buddy. Oh, Zeus is so fragile and his model is so small.
Just a little old man. They might be in a good position for a fight here though, because look at this. They get the counter initiation because they have Monkey King on the high ground in the trees at the Founder Strike, and now the Winter's Curse catches Salad. Kagome will eviscerate his own Tiny. LG will die now as well.
Disaster.
In a hurry there, Kips. Everything just turned super sour. Monkey King starts it all off. They show up, they burst the Queen of Pain. Everyone else dies moments later. Oh my god, what just happened?
Well, we've been talking before about how LBZS actually does need to find the Zeus and the Winter Wyvern in these fights, so that's down to their information. And they didn't get any that game. The quad positions like she owns the place, which is versus Monkey King, just really not true. That was a vast overextension, and you get like, it doesn't seem like a vast overextension, right? Because the entirety of her team is right there. But Wolf have an initiation problem. So what do? You make sure that you're already there.
Yep.
And without any troubles getting their heroes on top of people, with TZ being able to pick all of his targets, he could drop an absolutely beautiful Winter's Curse because he had all of the information already. They were already there, and LBZS just didn't check.
Nope. It was a little bit of disrespect. You're playing with this Aegis. You're up on the game. You're like, oh, we probably got this. You will find this easy kill potentially here. Link will not be allowed. They'll just quickly get the kill, but it does really feel like they thought, well, what do we really have to be afraid of, right? We can just play, like you said, like we own the place. And under many conditions, that would be true, but this MK, many times we've seen this trap being sprung from the trees, and it was perfect that time.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And that is like, normally you think this is a set piece. This might have also been like, you know, it feels like routines, like, all right, we take their tier 2, they don't def it because it's hard. We fight on the high ground because they have the, you know, the AoE spells and they're waiting for us to go into that choke point. We do the siege. So they were in their minds already at that point where, well, that we all know, where they're trying to protect their flanks while the TA is sieging, something like that. And they're still busy with that in their heads when a monkey comes out of the tree and just clobbers them to death. Welcome to the jungle. Wolf is not here to play your set piece game. Wolf is here to fight.
Also, something that we often see coming out of Wolf, or at the very least we've seen throughout these qualifiers, is they always try to make sure that they have more than 3 cores available in the game. Look at the item build on the Monkey King. After this BKB, scaling directly into a Skadi Butterfly Satanic. He's like, all right,
Awesome.
seeing the success of the Wukongs and the Bounder Strike from that last fight, he's like, I want more of that action. Get even stronger.
And that is the other thing that you can do if you're playing a reactive lineup, because you can pick a little greedier because you know that the fights are going to come to you. And I don't quite think that this is the best reactive lineup that they've pulled out, but it's certainly still been their style. Most of the fights that they've won have been defensive on the back of botched or less than optimal LBZS aggressions. And then, yeah, you got that Monkey King pushing out the side waves, and he's going to get the time and the space to do things because he's not running around the map trying to engage like, say, a Tiny would. Or a differently played Tiny would. Because I do actually think that, you know, we have seen decent defensive action from Salad here as well. It's not like you can't run Tiny defensively. You can run Tiny wherever you like.
Yeah, just do whatever you want to this hero. But I mean, it's the one thing that LBZS, if they do lose this game, Salad's performance will be unimpeachable. He's 3-2 and 18, so really cannot complain that he hasn't given this team enough dynamism, and now he's going to come across Vegetable Dog. The rage will be there, but there was no TP. What will he be able to do here? Doesn't have allies nearby. Can they swap him back? Detachment? Did not... did he really just zone the whole team by himself? They got scared. They didn't think that he was going to be alone. They're like, there's no way he's just sitting by himself, but he runs headlong into the team by himself. Will rage up. He's still alive. Trying to turn onto Salad now. The rest of his squad finally showing up. Bounder Strike will be there. They're going on to the Tiny. Wukong's command will now be thrown out by the Monkey King. Salad buys time with an Avalanche, but he's inside the Wukongs. They eventually kill the Lifestealer though, thanks to these LG birdlings in the backlines. At the same time though, TA does end up losing her life. PP will now move over to kill Winter Wyvern as Detachment gets thrown forward to bring down this Doombringer. However, throughout all of this, Blessing's been sitting, throwing in damage. This time around though, PP tries to jump on him, but there will be a Monkey King to try and help him out. Unfortunately, it won't be enough help as he will end up dying. Monkey King with BKB, it will not help either. And 5 heroes will fall for Wolf Team. Only the Visage and the Queen of Pain remain alive for LBZS, but this is definitely a favorable fight for them.
Yeah, like a Vegetable Dog, my man. What are you doing there? That's not your home. He loses half health, more than half health, before the fight is even properly engaged. And then they don't actually have the control there. All the controls being used on the flank to deal with the TA while we're watching Vegetable Dog struggle for his life. He dies to the supports, technically. Yep.
It's a very awkward place for him to be, right? Because it's one thing if he's immediately got the connection from the rest of the squad, but they were all really, really far away when he made the initial run. You could almost imagine him yelling at them saying, guys, let's go, let's go, let's go, we can take this fight. But also we saw how well LBZS was set up for it, right? They started preparing for it. Queen of Pain positioned herself on the high ground. They got the long edge Sonic Wave. By the time the fight starts, like you say, he's already on half HP. And more like this Monkey King, it's becoming really apparent now that he is basically their team fight. This and the Winter's Curse is all they have in terms of being able to really control an area of these fights. So the fact that he had to commit the Wukongs in a somewhat subpar position and he can't utilize it to keep the Zeus alive. The last time we saw him use the Wukongs in front of Zeus, that's when Zeus was able to absolutely dominate the fight. This time around though, Zeus left to his own devices and the fight does not go well for them at all. Even though Zeus did get the triple, to be fair.
The triple, he got to be unbothered for a while they're bringing down the TA because all of the utilities on the flank killing his carry. And then after that, the mop up, yeah, if you look at the chase between these two teams, there's absolutely no doubt that LBZS is going to take that every single time. And they found the Monkey again.
Poor Monkey, stop back. Look at this damage, even through the BKB. Sonic Wave from PP as well. Connects on the two heroes. TZ gets caught with the Avalanche from Salad. Quick kill onto him. Molasses forced to BKB as he runs away into the base for safety. Oh boy. This is how it starts, Kips. This is how it starts. The slow bleed, where each time you move out onto the map, you get bursted immediately, and then they utilize this TA Vistas to just knock over these buildings in short order.
Yep, and the Queen of Pain is now at that point in the game where she's going to start scaling as a physical damage dealer as well. There is a Bloodthorn coming up, so all of that pretty evasion that's been keeping you alive so far as the Lifestealer is not going to save you versus the Queen of Pain here. And Daedalus on Kagome. I mean, we just saw the effect of the Monkey King. He pops the Wukons, he gets the extra armor, he folds like a piece of paper.
Yep.
Um,
It's gone.
they are in trouble again. And now the set piece fight starts. No Aegis on Kagome.
Look how quickly these buildings are going. My god, there used to
Yikes.
be a lane of racks in this bottom lane. And this is all of the basis of losing 2 supports. And you suddenly have a full lane of racks already committed onto and taken away. They might not be done yet. LBZS waiting for the fake back. They know the fight's coming back towards them. The Monkey King's on the high ground. This time around though, we see the adaptation. We've been talking about this all weekend. Loving to see these teams adapt in the middle of the series. And PP, he wanted to go for it. Then he's like, wait, I've seen this movie. Let me rather just blink back onto the high ground.
Yep. They're holding hands really nicely right now, but I gotta say that if they were that wait with the
Well, that happened. He doesn't have buyback.
so sure that nobody was there that I didn't even look, because nobody should be there.
Yeah, well, Kips, how do they hold a high ground with 1 lane of racks and 4 heroes? He just got buyback though, thank god.
The Splinter Blast? Question mark? They don't need creeps. They really just don't need creeps. Oh, and there's a catapult here as well. Yeah.
Alright, here we
Let's
go,
hope
Monkey
no
King.
need buildings.
This might be the final defense. They get out a lot of damage onto Kagome though. They brought down this
Wait.
TA. PP throws in a Sonic Wave onto Vegetable Dog, but they don't have enough to actually get a kill onto anybody. So now the right fight is happening for Wolf as they find a Winter's Curse onto Salad. It's gonna hold him and LG in position. Salad will be able to stay alive throughout this as Detachment does have to keep one of these heroes alive, but Salad now, Wolf almost dies, buying a little bit more space and time. Will finally get ticked over. LG is still alive, but not for much longer as Lifestealer able to chomp him down to pieces. Well, that's how you mount a defense, I suppose, on this high ground here, because Team Wolf have bounced back LBZS, but it didn't come for free. They did lose a melee barracks for this one. They almost got megaed, but they do get themselves at least a chance back into this game.
Yeah. Like the detachment.
Oh, it's the Ags one.
Oh well. Yeah, it's the Axe, but I still think that that's a lot of golden EXP to be giving away for. I don't know. You're not gonna do anything with that information. Just hit a creep camp somewhere. You know?
No, it's
That
real
instead.
support. I need my creeps
So
for my
my real
cores.
question is, much like after why was Vegetable Dog on top, no, why did the TA blink in?
Yeah, she went so far forward. I actually initially thought that I was like, she got swapped in or something because of how forward she was.
Yeah. Did she get swapped? Did she get tossed? She was suddenly all the way in, and I can't check it because you can't go back in live games anymore. Thanks for that, Polgo. But her team could not follow that up. I'm not even sure like they expected her to go that deep, and especially not when the buildings are falling, right? And with how reactive the ultimates of Wolf are, how much they love having all of the vision. I think she saw the Zeus and said, okay, we need to take down this Zeus who's with me. And then she was dead before the team could say aye.
Yep. Who's with me? Zeus is dead. Oh no, wait, I'm dead. Zeus is actually the one that ends up. I think Zeus is the one that killed her. We can't go that
Yeah.
far back, sadly, but I think it was. Well, Blessing
Surprised Pikachu.
feeling very happy about life right now. Level 26.
Yeah.
Octarine. This is actually
Taking a
kind of
while.
ridiculous. Octarine Core Kaya Spell Prism. What? Alright. 80-second Thunder God's Wrath. 40-second Nimbus. 8-second Heavenly Jump. And a 5-second Lightning Bolt. All of this seems perfectly fair and reasonable to me.
Yeah. Especially on top of like a 3k mana pool to empty up.
And a refresher, you know? What's the issue?
I mean, on the other hand though, they're hanging by a single Rex right now.
Yeah.
As much as this was like a big win for Wolf and a big oopsie for LBZS, like LBZS can drop the ball a little here because they really only have that one building left, and yet that if Kagome gets like, if you're really desperate as LBZS, you can literally just make Kagome run down his lane, pop his BKB, and you know you take it's out in 2 hits.
This is probably the worst kind of heroes to have the situation into, right? The Visage, TA. TA can take it super fast. Visage can just grief you with the familiars. And to make matters worse, Detachment can just sit nearby, adding damage with the Vengeance Aura. So the only way it could get worse is if they had to play this into a Nature's Prophet. But there's gonna have to be somebody on permanent duty at home. Or it could be worse, actually. Nature's Prophet Lone Druid would be the absolute worst.
Ooh, LD, yes. Yes, LD would be worse. No, in moments like this, now where you're on fire, I'm like, why am I even here? This man just knows everything I'm about to say. You're very graceful to actually, you know, let me do it sometimes. I really don't need to.
It's hashtag teamwork. It's because I've been learning. I've been taking notes. This is as a result of tutelage from Kips. What do you make of this lifestealer build? The desperation item. He's queued it up. He's like, well, if we're gonna go out with Rapier. Okay, free gold. Thanks, Detachment, for contributing to the Rapier fund again. And he's gonna do it twice in a row. Shout out to you.
So I mean, this is a beautiful build for your lifestealer so far. Excellent for the matchup. They went for that building. Okay, Wolf was ready for it.
Yeah, but it's worth it. They force out the fortification, so next time around it probably dies.
It will, 100%. And this is the last moment that Wolf is going to get without all of the creeps on the map running at them, and they don't have a Roshan to take anymore because that Aegis is still in their pockets. And they can't really go out to buildings because the creep wave situation is already pretty bad. I think Wolf is stuck. I think they are stuck defending. They lost too many buildings.
What does kind of suck is that the heroes that they have available to them, Winter Wyvern, Zeus, their D-pushing is much more effective in a defensive stance rather than trying to really force out these waves onto the other side of the map. So they always have to be back, sort of waiting for LBZS to make a move. And it's, you know, we talk about them playing very reactively. I feel like it's much easier to play this reactive style when you at least have the fallback mechanism of just having at least some lane of racks available to you. You know, so, but as it stands right now, there's like no cushion. Any mistake gets instantly hard punished. It's megas everywhere. So they do kind of have to wait. And it might even have to wait like through this Aegis and the next one, because for LBZS, they also don't need to force the issue right now. So might as well wait for the next one, maybe get a megas out of it, get the next Aegis. So it's going to be one of those slow losses if Wolf Team do end up losing from this stage onwards.
Yeah, and otherwise you have to wipe LBZS twice in your base. Like, that is the other scenario here. And I think it comes down to one of the things that we've been noticing along in these China games as well, is that the team with the tower consequences, not necessarily like the straight up push, right? It doesn't need to be a Death Prophet, but a team that can easily take towers and terrain after a one fight will usually do better in the longer games. Because right now, Wolf are still looking at 2 more tier 2s to take down. I imagine that if we look at the tower damage after this game, as we watch this, poor. Oh, he didn't do the chainstone perfectly. Never mind. He's not poor. He's alive.
Yay.
But if we look at the tower damage this game, I'm pretty sure Wolf will have done only half of it themselves, and the other towers have been taken down by creeps. Hey. Yeah,
Even this tier 2, down bottom. Very rare that you see a Radiant tier 2 have this much HP 44 minutes into the game. But yep. Rapier is done. I saw him queue up Nullifier and I was about to complain and say, what the hell, bro? Don't disappoint me like this, but he does the right thing.
Change up, bro?
Exactly. Buys the Rapier. And here comes the final fight. There's no fortification. If they lose this fight, the game ends right here. But if they don't, maybe they get this turnaround. Silent. Oh no, he got stunned up, but they do not get the Doom. Not just yet. At the same time, Winter's Curse hasn't been used just yet. Doom will now go out onto PP. Not just yet. He's still alive. Monkey King will throw in the Wukong's command. They have lost detachments first life here. Winter's Curse catches out onto Silent. They overlay this with the Doom as well. Molasses really hating on the Tiny here. At the same time, they're trying to find Blessing. PP wants to stop the Zeus, wants to stop the source of damage, and he will be able to do so, getting a double kill in the process. Detachment will find his clone being brought down by Vegetable Dog. Blessing will buy back, and PP actually might die from this, and he will. Blessing takes him out with this buyback. Molasses and crew clean up on the supports now as well, as LG has also fallen to the vegetable dog rapier. They've done it, they've defended it, but it wasn't about the fight, Kips. It was about these megas,
It was
and
not.
LBZS have got them.
LBZS have got the megas. They're going to have the terrain to take the next Roche, as well as that this Zeus is on dieback notice right now. They're gonna run at him again after that Zeus dies a second time. You just buy back with everything you got on LBZS, and right now you have the time to respawn because again, Wolf cannot force the buybacks out like you just did to them. You have so much terrain left to cross. Look at the lifestealer lumbering down the top lane. Half of the respawn timers have already gone, and he's not even at the tower yet.
Yeah.
The waves are in atrocious positions for Wolf every single time.
And you also just mentioned it beyond just the positioning. By the time he arrives at the tower itself, the amount of effort it takes him to bring down a tier 2. I mean, it takes him more effort to bring down a tier 2 with a rapier than it did for the side of LBZS to take a full lane of racks. And now
Yes.
the push is done. He has to leave now. You were just talking about it. The team that has the opportunity to get like some real estate, some objective out of winning a fight, always going to be favored. And LBZS, they prove that if you have that kind of draft, not only is it after winning a fight, you can get some real estate and you feel good about the matchup. Even if you lose a fight, you can still put the team that wins that fight into an awkward position where they don't feel comfortable either moving out onto the map, or they lose so much in the process that they don't feel like it's a win anyway.
Yeah, if you want to really think about this for yourself and like just take a good hard look at what actually looks on a map, you realize that there's not just one clock in Dota2, not just the one in the top center, there's also the creep wave clock. And if the creep waves are over on your side of the map, you need a lot of time to do things. And if they're over on the enemy side of the map, they get to do things, you get to do things. Sorry, excuse me, they're actually just going for it.
Yeah, they're gonna try and force this fight. Veggiedog,
Both the
he is
Nimbuses
fighting with two Nimbuses here. Detachment is on the low ground. Salad jumps in. Avalanche toss. The vegetable dog finally gets off a raid, but he's too low in HP. He's gonna get bursted by LG. He dies, drops the rapier on the deck. Kagome now way stronger than he was just a moment ago. They also end up losing out on Molasses as well. What the hell was that from Veggiedog? Oh my goodness. Game is super hard.
I mean, I understand that they're looking to get a fight because this is the last time they're going to get an opportunity before all the waves are pushed in again. But that was not structured at all, and they just lost themselves the game right there.
Yep. With this, no buyback available on Molasses, no buyback available onto this young lifestealer. This game is probably going to end here. Tier 4 towers are being taken. Fortification will be out as well. But with an LG Aghanim Scepter, a Kagome with a Rapier Daedalus, a Salad who's just prepared to jump in no matter what. Feels like everything is over here. TA are throwing some big right clicks. They are going to be able to kill the one. TZ not even going to die before Wolf have called GG and thrown in the towel. It's done and dusted here in game number 1. LBZS one step closer to the grand finals as they lead the series 1-0 off the back of the strong victory.
Yeah, not perfect. There were certainly a couple of times where they took their own victory for granted, but in the end, I do think that their draft looks a little